Morning!
Morning, folks!
So we had a lovely 3 nights here at Goliaca. It's a lovely space, lovely utility that the council have put for everyone. But we've got a plan.
We have a plan. We are heading off today to Gordion and Midas Mound. Yes, that's Midas as in King Midas, the Midas touch. But first stop is an abandoned town.
That looks like Disney.
Yeah, we saw it on the Vikings.
So I think the Vikings, a lot of people go there.
I think you've got to, if you actually want to go in, I think you have to pay the guard the entrance fee, which we're probably not going to do, but we're going to go and see it on the outside because it's kind of on the way. But then, yes, and we're going to go and see some UNESCO sites.
And then we're going to go to Ankara, to the city, to fix my drone that I've broken again.
No comment.
Just leave it there. But today is lovely. It's a beautiful sunny day. It was going to rain last night, but it didn't.
We didn't, no. And we woke up, it's the first time we've woken up and it's not all foggy here, which is typical. But never mind, as you can hear, Peggy's engine is running, so let's get going.
So this place that we've come to is called Burj Al Babas. It looks a little bit like Disney Resort gone wrong. It's
753 identical houses.
753. They goes up in the hills as well there. We've just done a little bit of reading about it. It's apparently on one of the fault lines for earthquakes. So it could be one of the reasons they abandoned it. It'd be a fantastic place to fly a drone from here if mine was working. That's a job for the next couple of days. So in days of old you could go around it, but you can see a guard down on the entrance, so we're not going to pay the 50 euros they want just to drive around for 20 minutes when you can see it all from here. Incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible.
You can actually see where a whole load weren't finished in the middle. You can see the roofs kind of missing, unless it's starting to fall down already. When did we see it online? Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't it?
To be honest, I think I would hate to live in a place like that. It looks bloody awful, doesn't it?
So we've just driven through a town where you can see that it's mass housing for an industrial area, when every building in the town is identical. So I'm assuming that's what they were doing here, because obviously once you've got a blueprint, it's easy to do, isn't it? And cheap to do. But this was supposed to look like Disneyland, and I get it, but no. So Burj Al Babas means Tower of Babas in Arabic, and it's named after the local thermal spring, which is Babas Thermal Spring. And it was aimed at the Arabic market. It was aimed mostly at Kuwait. And at the time it went into bankruptcy, hence the abandonment, 150 of them have been sold to people from Kuwait City alone. There are 732 of them. They're not all identical, but they're very, very similar. They are 3-story luxury villas, and it was designed to get in tourism to the Black Sea from the Middle East. As it stands now, absolutely none of them were completed, although I think that one at the beginning looked like somebody's living in there, probably the guard. He's a friendly chap, he gave us a wave. The Emir of Kuwait came here last year, and there was talks with the Turkish president, although nobody knows what was said. But there is a chance that there could be some investment put into it to see if they can rescue it. Although a lot of the buildings are now quite badly damaged from the winter snows where they weren't finished. So, that was the longest 4-hour drive of our lives.
Yeah, nearly 7.5 hours to get here.
So it's about 4 o'clock, but we have made it to the first site. It's the only one we're going to visit today, but we are here at the Gordion ancient site. That's the entrance. We're going to go and have a little wander up those stairs. It's there on the board.
Yeah.
Gordion is one of the most important archaeological sites in the Near East. It was occupied for more than 4,000 years, from the Bronze Age to modern times. Its most prosperous period was in the first half of the first millennium BC, when it was the royal capital of the powerful Iron Age kingdom known as Phrygia to the Greeks and Mushki to the neighbouring Assyrian Empire. The site was dominated by monumental buildings and over 100 elite burial mounds, which you can see in the distance. Gordion's fabled King Midas was actually a historical figure, and it was here too that Alexander the Great was said to have cut the famous Gordion knot. Since 1950, several different institutes have done over 30 annual excavation campaigns here to keep digging away to see what you can find. The majority of the archaeological discoveries are housed in the museum just up the road 1 kilometre away, which we're probably going to go and see tomorrow. That is King Midas's burial mound, and it is over 53 metres tall and over 300 metres in diameter. So we can now say that we have been to the throne of King Midas of the Midas touch fame.
Midas touch. Gold, baby. That was quite cool, wasn't it?
It was. That was a nice little wander around, and the bit that I forgot to tell you is that bit's free, which is quite cool. It probably doesn't look very exciting on the camera.
Because it wasn't. It was just a lump of rocks.
The information is cool, and it is quite cool to say that we've been there, and it is just a bunch of rocks.
Bunch of rocks, but it is nice, and the information was good there. So,
and we like a pile of rubble. So, but it is now too late to get into the museum, so we have parked up in the museum car park, just here behind me. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. And I've been in and checked in the shop, and yes, we can park here overnight and go into the museum in the morning. She even told me where the toilets were, which in van life is always a bonus. So we're just going to go and have a little wander while dinner defrosts.
morning all.
Morning, folks. It rained quite a lot last night.
It poured down. It was horrible.
But it's beautiful this morning, and we're now off to go and see the Midas Museum and the Midas Mound. This is the oldest colour floor mosaic discovered in the world.
So that's the museum done. It's very interesting. Lots of pottery. To be honest, there's only so much pottery a man can do on a Sunday morning. We're now going into the Midas Mound, which was fabled to be the resting place for King Midas. Or was it?
Well, actually, from what we've just read, it's his dad's, Gordius, the man that the town of Gordion was named after. So Midas built this, but he built it for his dad. And nobody actually knows where Midas was buried.
In here is the oldest wooden structure known to man. That's about 3,000 years old. 3,000 years for a wooden building. Good God, if a builder could build something today that lasted 20 years, I'd be happy.
The Midas Mound tomb chamber is the oldest standing wooden building in the world. All of the timbers that you see at the end of this 75-metre long tunnel are original and have been standing there for over 2,700 years.
So that was an interesting hour and a half.
Yeah.
300 Turkish lira, which is
About
£5 thereabouts.
give or take.
Interesting, yeah, hour and a half. Now time for coffee before we head off to Ankara. This is so strong, it's going to blow her brains.
It's also really hot. Cool. Can you tell we've just walked up another hill?
Again, everything we do is up hills. Anyway, where are we?
We are at I think it's Anit Kabar. It's a monument. It's the tomb of a former president.
Oh.
It's not this behind us. It's the other side.
I'll put
of
his
that.
name below, and I'll tell you all about it in the description in the text later.
We thought we'd come for a walk in the park, but you've got to go through a scanner and be checked, and the GoPro was checked. And right after we went through, they closed the gate. It
So
shuts.
4 o'clock it shuts, but everyone's walking around. But they took my camera away to have a look at it, and they put your bag through an X-ray machine, and we had to walk through scanners.
And I had to take my glasses off, so I'm guessing you had your photo taken.
And there are security and guys in camo everywhere.
Yeah.
In the trees, there's guys with guns. It's a little bit scary just to come to a monument in a park. So hopefully it's worth coming to.
Yeah, just not what we used to. So yeah, well, we're gonna go and walk over the hill. I'm assuming it's the other side of that hill.
Well, that was crap.
I've never known it so hard to be a tourist.
We got here at 4 o'clock, they shut the doors behind us, literally, and we thought, oh, we got time to walk up. And we got up to the main part, the mausoleum, which is, well, the other side of these ramparts, and they wouldn't let us up there. 4:27, and they said, no, shut, go. And that's what they said, and they ushered us to a lift. It's come down to a road here. To be honest, we've got no bloody idea where we are. We're going to have to go wandering and go from there. Now,
And I think that we're being kicked out again. So
we're being shouted at again.
Yes.
Let's get going.
let's go.
Well, bugger me.
We got shouted at again.
We couldn't even stand in video. They were shouting, out, do not wait, go. So
Exit, don't wait.
we'll film the exit. You can see the exit behind us. I'll probably get zapped by the men in black in a minute. I've never seen so many security at a tourist national monument in my life. There were hundreds of them.
They need to go and work in some pubs to get them kicked out at the end of the night. You would never hang around.
Oh my God. Anyway, after that,
We don't know where we're going now. We're a little bit frazzled.
we come out of an exit. We didn't know where we were, but we are going to now go and find a beer.
It's going to be quite difficult because we think it's the marble in there. It completely threw the GPS on our phones. Absolutely didn't have a clue. My phone at one point thought it was 5 kilometres away. So yeah, we work out what we're doing now.
And it's starting to rain, so beer it is.
All right then, if you insist. Right, excuse the mess in here, but we are just discussing. We were out last night in Ankara. We went to a bar, and it was a very friendly, lovely bar, but they smoke inside. And there was a guy sat at the table next to us that smoked continuously. And this morning we've woken up. We had a couple of beers. I feel like I've got a hangover. I haven't. It's the smell.
Everything stinks. Everything it's disgusting. Every bit of clothing we wore last night stinks. It's clean. I mean, this is clean. It's smoky, and it's horrible.
Even your belt when you changed your belt onto your clean clothes today, even your belt smelled,
Even
didn't
the
it?
leather belt smelled. And the guy sat about as far as from me to where Clare is, sort of, I don't know, a table width across. It's horrible. It is. Yeah, it's disgusting.
We're not used to it anymore, are we?
No.
And we both come from the pub trade, so we now realising we must have stunk all the time.
Oh, you did.
Oh, thanks.
Right, this morning we're heading into Ankara, one tube and a bus to try and get the drone fixed for the second time this holiday. I don't know how many more times I've got to crash it. I had a drone, the previous drone I've had for a couple of years, haven't crashed it once. This one I've now crashed twice in a matter of about 5 weeks. So, never mind, eh?
At least we can get it fixed, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then where are we going after we're getting the drone fixed?
We're going to go to a mosque, I think. Hence the reason I've got trousers on for the second time in 3 and a bit years. And that's just out of respect for going to temples and mosques. Shorts will be back on tomorrow, so don't worry. And after that, we're just going to have a mooch around town. There's nothing really here we wanted to see, other than we got kicked out of yesterday's tourist trap.
The monument we wanted to see.
We got kicked out of yesterday. We're not going to bother going back there. We kind of saw enough of it, really. So we're just going to have a mooch around town. and hopefully the drone will be fixed, and then tomorrow we're heading north to a little town called
Saffron Bolu.
There you are. And then from there we're heading up to the coast, and for the next 10 days we're going to be heading along the coast until we get to somewhere Christmassy.
Another one of the joys of travel. We've got up this morning, stepped outside, got a flat tyre. It's not completely flat, so before we go out for the day, because we're not moving today, before we go out we're just pumping it up a little bit so it doesn't go completely flat and ruin it, because we can't get out. We're hemmed in, there's a lot of people around us, so. But it's a little bit cosy. I'm holding the thing in because it doesn't actually fit our cigarette lighter, and we can't open the door because we've parked in a place where we are stuck against that, so we're having to do it feed it out the window. But as you can see, it's a little bit steamy, but as you can see, we are very, very hemmed in, so we can't move. So we know that when we leave here, we've got to leave here by about 7:30 tomorrow morning. And the first place we're going to, tyre garage. We've dropped off the drone, and apparently we've got to go back and pick it up tonight, so we've got the bus back into town. Just for the record, public transport here is just tap and go. It's tap and go on the underground, and it's tap and go on the buses. Sorry, with your credit card, with your Visa, MasterCard, and it's 31 lira a trip. It doesn't seem to matter how long the trip is. So we've dropped the drone off, we've come back into town, we are hungry and we want some proper Turkish food, so we've come into a bakery and we've just ordered a gozlemi each. It's our first gozlemi and I'm excited.
So that was our first ever gozlemi.
I loved it, but I couldn't finish it, it was that stodgy.
To be honest, I don't know what the hype's all about. To me, it was just way too stodgy.
Controversial.
Well, controversial, yeah. Everyone seems to love it. All YouTubers who come to Turkey love it. No, not for me.
Anyway, we've walked up the hill and we have come to see this mosque. I'm going to try and pronounce it, it's going to be wrong. I want to say it's Kosatepe.
Kosatepe. Anyway, it's the largest mosque in Ankara, takes up to 24,000 people. So we're going to see if we can go in. And this is the mosque that you can see from our car park at night, lit up. I'm going to stick the drone up now and have a look at it from above. Well, probably about 5 miles away, but yeah, it's nowhere near as beautiful on the outside during the daytime. Nighttime lit up looks lovely, but the inside is just incredible. So after a visit to the mosque, it's time for coffee and cake, said Claire. But I think her eyes are bigger than her tummy. Look at the size of that.
That's not going to help my pre-diabetes, is it?
It's huge. I only went for a little pot, but the size of that.
That you're going to eat half of, I'm sure.
I think every single city now seems to do an umbrella street somewhere. It's not new, but it's still lovely.
So, while we're waiting for the drone to be fixed, Tom worked out how to stop me going shopping because there's not a lot else that we want to do.
She could spend a fortune, by the way. We've been into tat shops, like, she bought headbands for Christmas. I mean, it's like, why? Anyway.
We are back here at Anıt Kabir, which is the colonnaded tomb for the former president, the place we got kicked out of the other day.
Hopefully, it's only 3 o'clock, hopefully we've got an hour before they start kicking us out. I don't think there's an hour's worth to do here, but we will have a look.
It is stunning and vast. Quite dramatic, I think. Not stunning, it's quite dramatic, quite imposing.
Actually, look, they're leaning backwards, they're going to fall over.
I think everybody's been stopped. You can't go up there for a minute while they change the guard.
Changing the guard at the monument. Cool. And as with everything at this monument, the soldiers have got one of the men in black with them.
İleri! Normal adım! Marş!
So that there is the tomb of the man who basically created Turkey from the liberation after the war. The War of Independence in 1921. To be fair, it is freezing cold now, but it's definitely worth the trip back here just to see the guards walking. I mean, you know, Ministry of Silly Walks, all these ceremonial things are like that, aren't they? It's an incredibly well guarded place, men in black everywhere. And incredible views. We must be at the highest point, one of the highest points in town here. All the way round you can see the city. So 4 o'clock, we've had a day. The bus rides are mental. We've come to pick up the drone here at Drone Fix.
Tom can fly his drone again now over all the things that were really interesting that we've already missed.
So there we are, Drone Fix. I'll stick a link in the comments below. The guy's done a really good favour. 2,000 lira, which is about 35 quid for a new motor and a new plastic on the gimbal. He flew it in there, works a treat. Right, home now, time for a beer.
Yes.
I've had enough of walking today. 15,500 steps. I ain't doing no more steps up the hill.
You need to up your game other than 17,500.
Yeah, your phone records it different than mine. Watch. So there's one thing after another, isn't it, when you run a van like this and you're going across continents and dirt track roads and bumpy roads. We had a flat. We woke up yesterday morning and the tyre was almost completely flat. I pumped it up before we went to town, and when we got back yesterday evening it was nearly down again. So we pumped it up this morning and we've come to, there you go, Bridgestone Garage, just outside Ankara. We've just done a load of shopping, and I'll pin where we are again. So yeah, they're going to take the tyre off.
Now this is the Turkish hospitality. What was a cup of tea?
So this is it, garage number 3. Luckily they've all been really quite minor. He found a tiny little hole. He's just patching it now. Yeah, on our way in a few minutes hopefully. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and join us next week as we head to Safranbolu.